Morning, everyone. By the time I set up my system, everybody please log in to go to the schedule page and see the due date if you have anything due in this weekend. Please look at your schedule, whatever we have due. That you have your policy and syllabus quizzes due by this weekend. All quizzes will be due by midnight, Sunday midnight. But please do not wait for the last hour. And let us see. Let's do a quick review that we discussed in our last class. In our last class, we were trying to understand what algorithm, what are the components of a good algorithm. The components of an algorithm. Main components of an algorithm, just there are two components: data and instructions. And algorithm has some properties like it must be precise, it should be precise, it must be unambiguous, it must be complete, correct, as simple as possible, and it contains some level of abstraction. We discussed something about abstraction in our last lecture. We will go through abstraction more again and again. Actually, abstraction is a concept. Sometimes it is difficult to be clear with this concept. So we will review that. So we know that we can describe an algorithm in several ways. For instance, natural language, or a picture, flowchart, sometimes audio or video, and also in pseudocode or in a specific programming language. So our final goal is to implement an algorithm using a specific programming language, not only a single specific language. We will discuss at least 3 or 4 programming languages in this lecture class: C#, Java, C++, Python. So you will be familiar with at least 3-4 programming languages in this course, but in your corresponding lab class, you will be you will be doing more in-depth practice in one specific language. So everybody should take, right? Everybody here has a lab class. Okay. Although your lab class is 1 credit, but remember that there are a lot of assignments and homework in your lab class. Actually, what you will be learning in this class, you will do practice in your lab class. This is pseudocode. So this is a flowchart of an algorithm. Here, can I make it? On my screen, it shows full. Thank you so much. Okay. So this is a flowchart. It seems to be complicated who are new. Okay, but don't worry. You don't need to memorize anything from here. Just we want to be familiar with some flowchart. Okay. A flowchart is just pictorial description of an algorithm. Sometimes we know that sometimes a picture tells us many things. Sometimes a picture 100 statements. Okay. So a flowchart contains some specific shape. For instance, the starting and ending shapes are an oval size shape. So for start and end, you must use this kind of oval shape. And then, okay, and for input and output operation, you have like this rectangle shape. For any kind of decision, you will use this kind of diamond type shape. This arrow sign, it makes decision or flow program. So based on our problem in hand, a flowchart can be very simple, but it can be complicated. At a glance, within a second, we should know whether this is a complete flowchart or not. How can we know that? If a flowchart, in order to be a flowchart to be complete, it must have a starting and ending point. Only one single starting point and only one point. If you do not see this major criteria in a flowchart, for instance, you see multiple start points, okay, or missing start point or ending start, missing end point, you know that this is not a complete, that is not a complete flowchart. That might be a part of another complete flowchart. Okay. So in our class, we will not focus a lot about flowchart, but we will be familiar with these special shapes, starting oval shape, ending oval shape, and the rectangular shape, and then diamond type shape for decision making. And in our next classes, we will go through more. Some will come. I will bring some more simple to complex flowchart. By the end of this semester or this course, you will be learning how to develop a flowchart more and more complicated than this. Actually, it's an application has a flowchart more complicated than this. Like for instance, engineers, like architects, before they build this kind of building, usually they draw a shape. If you have seen a drawing of of a building, you may not understand exactly, but they understand what is going, where will be the pillar, where will be the window, where will be the doors. Okay. So these are the components of an algorithm. That an algorithm contains data and instructions. Okay. They are whole specific data structure. We will know about data structures. You will know data structure in your advanced level course, how to develop your own data structure. But there are some built-in data structure we will discuss maybe for our next class. Okay, next lecture. And then instructions, and there will be conditional or control statements, and there might be modules. Modules are otherwise called methods or functions. We learn this like we'll start learning this soon. So sometimes initially it may be difficult to think algorithmically. Okay. The right approach to learn programming problem solving. Sometimes people, you may hear that or you may see that when not computer science or software engineering academic degree, Some of them, they do well, they learn programming, but very few. It's really difficult. What they do this right about when they get a problem, they start coding. That is not an appropriate approach. But at some point, that will be an appropriate approach. For instance, if I want to drive to Kensa campus, okay, if I know my direction and my destination, then I can right away, I can start my car and I can start driving, right? But if I'm not familiar with my direction and destination, then what should I do first? Get my direction first, set up my GPS, right? It is not an appropriate way that I do not know my destination or my route. I start right way driving, and on the freeway, I will be looking my GPS to get the direction, right? So I have to be familiar with, to know the problem, the algorithm, then start coding it. That is the appropriate way, and our goal is to learn and proceed through that way. What approach we will do? We will start by developing a good algorithm, and then we will convert that algorithm into with a specific programming language. There are multiple programming languages we will cover, but as I mentioned, that is not a good way to learn a programming language that without learning algorithm, without thinking algorithmically. Way. People who do not have academic education, they approach the wrong way. But our goal is not that. Remember that. Initially, that might be time consuming for many of you. You may say, oh, why should I spend time to draw this flowchart? Why should I spend time to write this algorithm? I could write my program right away. Please do not be confused about that, okay? Our goal is to learn systematically and appropriately, okay? Of our last lecture, what is an algorithm? An algorithm is just a set of instructions. An algorithm contains some data and some instructions, okay? In order to be a good algorithm, it must be precise, clear, complete, correct, and as simple as possible. And it should apply some abstract instruction. We will go through abstract on what is meant by instruction again. We will start from pseudocode. We will describe an algorithm mostly in pseudocode. We will start right. Anyone has any questions so far? None? Good. The goal is to go slowly. The course content, if you want, or if you can, I can cover everything in one sitting or one day. But that will not help you. Our approach is to go slowly, go by step. Okay. So who are you have some advanced or some programming experience beforehand? Please be patient. I have to go with the people who have no programming experience at all. If you have something, that's good. Okay. But I will consider that most of all of my students in this class have no prior programming experience. Okay. I will start from that way. So this was my first lecture. And in our today's lecture, we will, if you go to our slideshow, this one will Module 1, Part 2, a programming premiere skeleton, input output operation. Let us start. How far we can go. Yeah. This is the slide. So the goal of this lecture is to learn the skeleton or the frame of a program and how to print something, that means display something on a computer screen using that program, and then declare a variable reading input in keyboard and doing some basic operations. Let us start and let's see how far we can go in our today's lecture. So as I mentioned that we will start from a pseudocode, but we will implement our pseudocode. By the way, pseudocode means, remember that, an algorithm. Pseudocode means an algorithm, okay? So we know that an algorithm can be implemented by a pseudocode, by a flowchart, or in natural language, but we will use pseudocode to develop an algorithm. Then we will use multiple programming languages, sometimes Java, sometimes C#, sometimes C or C++ or Python. To implement that algorithm. First thing we need to do to develop a good pseudocode. Once we can develop a pseudocode, then it's easy. It will be easy for you to convert that pseudocode in a programming language. So in our slide, whenever you see this symbol PS, you will think that this is a pseudocode. This symbol is Java, this symbol is C#, and this is C++. In our following slides, you will see this symbol. That means, remember, this symbol is PS for pseudocode. So what is a skeleton? A skeleton is a small program. It has only structure of a program, but usually that does not do anything, but sometimes it may do very little thing. That skeleton contains all of the major parts of a program, like starting point, ending point, and program body. So let us see a skeleton of a very little or the smallest program in a pseudocode format. Can you hear me back? Okay, so this is a pseudocode for a program that does nothing. Okay, so it says begin main, end main. Nothing. So this is the starting point of my main method, and this is the ending point of main method, but there is now nothing, no instruction within the body. This is called within starting and beginning and ending point between is body. But since there is no here, so it does nothing. It will not give you any instruction, any output. This is in pseudocode format. Okay. Almost all programming languages contains the main method. It contains a main method. All programming languages, all programs in all programming languages contain a main method that points starting point of your program. Okay, so let us go to the next one. So this is a skeleton of the previous problem in. Can anyone please tell me which language it is in? Yes, we will see the symbol here, C sharp. In C sharp, okay. You see the in C sharp, we are using system. System is a built-in something, built-in class. At this point, you may not hear with class, but remember that it does something. We will learn later what it does. Okay, and then it says class, main class, and then public static void main string. Then this is the symbol of an array, and this is an arcs, and you see closing, opening. There are two sets of breaks, opening and closing. Okay, so this is the structure of a very simple C# problem that does nothing. There is no, so it's empty body. Okay, so for now, we have in this program we have used some abstract code. For instance, what is meant by using system, class, then public, static, void, okay, string, main. Almost all of these are abstract terms. Okay, you will not ask me any question about at this point what is meant by static, what is meant by public. Later, when times come, I will tell you what is meant by public, what is meant by static, meant by class. Later you will know that. Okay, but for now, who are new in programming language, just please memorize this code. Instead of understanding all of this, it's easier for you if you just memorize this. Soon you will understand the meaning. Okay. So one thing you remember that in C sharp, you see that using system, this is in uppercase, and class. Okay, the main class name you can give any name. Public static void a main m is in uppercase. Okay, and string s is in lowercase. Okay, but if I go to this thing in C++, you see that structure is completely different. You see that hash includes iostream, int main. Okay, for main method it has nothing with parentheses, but this is it has return 0. Okay, we will know later what is meant by return 0. And if we go in Java format, you see that more likely this structure is more likely similar to C sharp, right? But there are few differences over here. You see, we do not need to using system over here, and we have public static void main m is in lowercase, and but string s is in uppercase. So almost all programming languages are case sensitive. Okay, so wherever you see there are some keywords like this blue words, you must write this in lowercase. And m is in lowercase, but in C sharp you must write m is in here, m in uppercase. Okay, so almost all programming languages are case sensitive. For most cases, you have to follow case. Okay, in uppercase and lowercase are different. So for now, just I like you to memorize this skeleton. How you can memorize? If you are new here, just I like not right now, later, write down this piece of code on a piece of paper several times, 3-4 times, then you will be familiar with. Okay. So, all programs contains a main method, and that is the starting point of your program. Okay, so as we will use C Sharp, Java, maybe Python and C++ for implementing our algorithm in this lecture, you should have better if you can install Java and then Visual Studio and Python in your computer. Okay, that will be in order to implement complicated large program, full program. We should have those IDE. IDE means integrated development environment. Okay, in your computer. But for quick demo in our class, we will use sometime we will use this IDE, online IDE. It is called repl.it. Okay, so after at the end of this class today, I like everybody to go to this website repl.it, and you will come up with, actually I have logged in, so it will show you to a new screen. Please use an email address, preferably any email address you can use. You can use a personal email address or KSU email address. Create an account with repl.it. Okay, sometime we will use this for quick. Okay, so let me see that what can I do. Okay, so create your account on RPL, then it will send you a verification email. Just click on the link on the verification email, then your account will be active. And then when you log into this system, for instance, then what you will do, click new REPL, and you see that it will show you an option to select a language from a bunch of languages. Okay, so you can program in Java, C++, Python, C, Ruby. Okay, the languages, got a number of languages you have option. Yeah. So let us do quickly write a program in Java. If you select a Java language here, so we will use archive from next week for attendance class. Okay, not or passcode. No. So REPL is free. Okay, if you want to public repository, that means if you want to make your program available to anyone. So program we will be discussing in class are simple. We can make this public, right? So if you have something special, then you can make your upgrade your account and you can make private, but for that you have to pay. Okay. A name, then you have to give a name. For instance, give us CSE1321 section 2, maybe section 02, maybe fall 19, maybe Java. I can give lecture 03, for instance. This is a large number I'm giving. Okay. So then we give a name. This is the name that the file or my program will be saved in by this name. Okay. Then create REPL. Okay, so in your assignment for your lab, you will be by your instructor who is what is the preferable IDE, but for Java we prefer Eclipse. Okay, and for C Sharp we have to use Microsoft Visual Studio. So using your KSU email, you can get authentication for Eclipse for Visual Studio. Okay, so this is the program it generates. It is generated with some autocode. So this is the program we got in Java language since we selected Java, right? Now, if we click on the run button, okay, can anyone please help me to say what will be the output of this program? Yes, you will just print hello world without this code sign. Okay, so if we click on run button, it will take a second to run in. So this is my output to world. Okay, this black screen is called console. Okay, so here in this program, so it is just displaying okay hello world, that means, but we say is print ln. Okay, print ln means, so if we say print ln, then after printing this it will get a new line. Yes, so then if I say another line, I will go to later. Okay, for instance, understand this. So here there are some abstraction applied here. One thing is that you say print or print ln. You say print as well as same thing. So here print method is an abstract method to us because we do not know how print method works to display my expected output on this screen. At this point, we will not focus on how the print method works. Okay, but rather we will focus on how to use some string within the print method to display something. What are the format of using print method to learn? Okay, so here we are bypassing to learn more in depth about print method, but in order to give more focus to learn something, how to print something. Okay, so and abstraction applied here. So please do not ask any question how the print method works. Later, even if you take my 1322 class, in next semester you will learn how the print method works, how to write a program that will help you to write your program to send your output to printer. Okay. Now let us do again. If we select, if we go to repl.it again, I'm going to new screen and I want to see like another program in C Sharp. I want to get almost same name here. C. Okay, I want to create REPL. Okay, so this program is the new one is in C Sharp. The previous one on the top, that is in Java. Now let us compare these two programs to see the differences between this format. Okay, any difference between this Java code and this C Sharp code? One major difference is that in Java we write main in all in lowercase letter, but in C Sharp we write m is in uppercase. Okay, The difference is that you say print system.out.print or println in Java. Okay, that print something, this thing, hello world on console. But here in C sharp we write console.writeLine. Actually, writeLine is similar to println. So here we can say write, similar to print. This program will give us same result. Hello world. See, but for now, who are new in programming, just please for now to memorize this format for C sharp code and this part for Java. Okay. These are very simple programs that have the skeleton, the basic structure of a program. Okay, so you see here, when you click on this second or the first opening bracket, this is the starting point of this main class. We will know by what is class later in depth. Okay, but for now remember that actually C sharp, Java and Python, these are object oriented programming languages. Okay, so all programming languages start with a class. We will know about class later. Okay, so when you see that when I click on the opening bracket of my class, it has selected the closing ending point of this class. You see the little bit on line 7. This is the pair of, and if I say click on the opening bracket of line number 4, it is showing me similar on line number 6. Okay, so that means this is the body of the method and this is the body of the class. A class contains one or more methods, and some other things we will know that later. Okay, so I want to put something more. Hello world, say welcome to my class. Can anyone please tell me what will be my output if you know? What will be my output from here? Can anyone guess? Okay. Welcome to my class in one line or two lines? In one line. If I say write, okay, so then again write, so then it will not take any line. Take output is that hello world without any space, so it is something okay, not meaningful. Hello world, welcome to my class. Now if I want to give a new line, that means something what we do using enter key, pressing enter keys, then we can do two things. One, we can give add line, right line. Okay, so if you use right line, so then if I run it again, hello world will be printed in line 1. Then after writing this, it will get a new line to start the second instruction. Okay, for instance, okay, this is one way. There is another way. Instead of using right line, if we use \n, then it will do same thing. What if I use \n over here at the beginning of the second line instead of at the end of the first line? Then it will do same thing. That \n is called new line. This new line character must be seated within double quote. Okay. So timing over, right? How long will we have? How many minutes? 3 more minutes, right? Okay. So I like everybody. So before you come to our next class, create an account on rtpl.it. Okay. Then do some practice in Java and in C# at least. Okay. You can that if I do. Okay, so if I do a mistake, for instance, if I write in C is in lowercase, then if I want to run this program, wait a second, that it is showing me an error, right? It's showing me an error. See that the name console does not exist in the current content. That means there is a mistake over here, so that we need to make this console C is in uppercase. So everybody saw, please do some practice. Try to understand whatever you. And in our next lecture, we will discuss more. Okay. Please do not forget for the syllabus and policy quizzes that are due in this weekend. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Yeah.